Hey guys, real quick before we get into the episode, don't forget to
like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Hella Average Gaming. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/Hella Average Gaming, average spelled AVG. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Follow us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Hella Average Gaming. Listen to us on Stitcher, check us out on iTunes, and make sure to listen to us on Google Play.
And with all that said and done, let's get to it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 69
Intercourse
of the Hella Average Gamescast. I know we couldn't pass that up. As always, I'm your co-host.
Say it was the Hella
Cam.
Average Intercourse Gamescast?
Is
that what I heard?
Are we rebranding already?
All right.
Jeremy, do you have the new logo with the bags of dicks?
Jeremy,
So
have you drawn a lot of dicks yet?
I'm always drawing dicks.
Have you drawn a Hella Average dick lately?
I just look down and see one.
Hey! Let's go.
If you can't tell, all three of us are back. We're not a two-man show. Carmen made it through the hurricane. What's happening, buddy?
You know, hanging in there. Back to work. Well, not back to... I'm working, but I'm working from home for the next foreseeable future.
Yeah, your neck of the woods got it pretty bad.
Yeah,
At least Lumberton's
my office,
underwater.
Yeah, that's not underwater anymore, but there was probably anywhere from half a foot to a foot of water in the building that I work in.
Nice. Very nice.
If anybody wants to see pictures, hit me up on Disco. I'll send it to you.
Very nice. Jeremy, what's been happening with you, buddy?
Oh man, last time I was this early, Telltale was making games.
Oh,
Ooh.
so easy, killer. Don't be blowing
Ooh.
your load too early. We got things to talk about this week.
Oh,
As
man.
you know, we're all together again. We're going to talk about video games. We got some shit to go over. It's another glorious week talking to these motherfuckers. So, let's kick it off in the fashion we always do. And since he missed last week, we're going to let the motherfucking dude known as Carmen tell us what he's been playing.
Well, new season of Rocket League started, so I've been grinding on that. I've been getting aggravated with that. I feel like all the tryhards are out right now. So I kind of took a break from that. I've played a little Destiny. I've been playing my SNES Classic. I've been playing a fuck ton of games on that. And that's about it. I've been playing a lot of Tap Titans because I've just been bored. And I'm making pretty good progress on that. I think I jumped up from max stage like 15,500 to like 18,000.
So many fucking stages.
Yeah, the max is 32, and we have one guy in our clan that's there. He's actually like in the Hall of Fame for Tap Titans.
No shit.
Tap with the best of them.
Dude goes hard.
I bet he taps all of his spare time. He's just tapping.
He can do a run in, like, his fastest time I think is like 8 minutes from wherever stage he starts at to 32k.
Jesus.
Yeah. The dude's fucking cool as shit. He drinks a lot of craft beer. And
we know all about that, don't we?
Yeah, boy. I just now feel like myself.
Thursday was the day.
Where you woke up and you said, damn, like I don't need to take 3 showers before work.
Yeah. I had my bachelor party this weekend. That's why the show was late last week. It was a weekend filled with debauchery, beer drinking, and hangovers. I threw up at least 6 times. But it was a blast. It was a successful bachelor party. It's everything I wanted to do. We hit 8 breweries in one day.
Yo, but fuck that Funkatorium.
Yes, if you need the deal in Nashville, North Carolina, we have the Cam and Carm tour guide extraordinaire at your service.
If you want some of the dankest ramen ever, I know where to find it.
Jeremy, let me ask you a question. If you came to my bachelor party, with the amount that you drink, how many craft beers do you think you could make it through? Now, let me explain to you the craft beer, since you're not a beer connoisseur. So let's say that a normal light beer is 4.2% alcohol.
Okay.
A craft beer is going to be anywhere from the 5% range to the 11% range. So you could potentially be drinking 2 beers in one in less than 10 minutes.
Well, assuming that I'd even like the taste of it, maybe 2.
There you go.
Yeah.
I really, you
We
probably
found
you would hate
something for you.
You would have hated the taste.
I'm sure I would have.
But I was thinking about you. We were talking about video games a lot.
You're just like, man, if only that cool guy who doesn't drink was here, he could drive us home.
Yeah, we could have used another driver.
I bet.
Yeah, but yeah, it definitely took at least 3 days to get back right.
Yeah, Rob showed me a nice picture of you passed out in the back car on the way home.
Yeah, that's not surprising. That was the mild part of it.
KO.
All right, Jeremy. I'm sure you play some video games. Tell me about them.
I made a lot more progress in Dragon Quest XI.
Are you done with it yet?
Now, here's the interesting thing. Remember how I told you I thought I was halfway through the other week?
Did you lie?
Apparently I was not halfway through. I am now a little over halfway through.
Jesus.
Yeah, there was a big story event that took place and changed things up quite a bit, and now I'm working on the second half of the game. And it's funny, too, because I was reading a lot of articles saying, like, this is one of the hardest Dragon Quests ever made, and I was like, really? This thing's, like, easy as shit. And now the enemies are way harder. I was playing something right before we got on, and I ended up having to do, like, 2 boss fights in a row, one which I didn't know was coming. Didn't think I was going to win, and just barely scraped by. But still loving it. It's going up in my top 5 this year. Like, it was barely scraping the top 5. It's now solidly probably somewhere in the middle right now.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
So when you say it opened up, did it do the stereotypical, like, bam, you were kind of linear and now you're in an open world, or did you mean it opened up like a story mode, like the new story happened?
The second half of the story kicked in. I was already free to explore the world, but now it's a little bit more open. There were certain areas I couldn't get to, and now I can. It's kind of, and it's like, you're right, I was free to explore the world, but I had certain story events I had to go to in order to progress the plot. But now it's kind of being a little bit more open. It's just like, do this in whatever order you want. And so I'm just kind of going from town to town, seeing what's up, and seeing what little story elements I can kick in. That might be why some of these boss fights are a little harder. Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing them quite yet, but I'm pulling through. I'm about level 40 right now with all my characters.
Very nice, very nice.
What's the level cap?
99.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got a ways to go.
But it was also cool too because like the skill trees after this event took place, your skill trees opened up more, which I didn't know was possible. And I have a lot more abilities to learn, which is pretty damn cool. Also got another party. I thought I had all the party members, but there was apparently another party member that was unlocked also, which is pretty sweet.
Now, have you switched out the one that you told me you liked so much last week? The was like assassin chick, was it?
Oh, Jade.
Yeah.
No, she's still in there, but I'm alternating the new character in between. I have to have the hero in at all times, and I keep Jade in there. And I usually have Sylvando, and I have Veronica, who's my mage. But I'll sometimes swap Sylvando out for the new character. Don't want to do any spoilers on this. But I pretty much keep the same 3 at the very least in my party.
Very cool, very cool. So when the skill tree opened up, did all your skill points go away when it opened up, or like is it just like expanded the tree even more?
It expanded it even more.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah,
very
cool. A lot more abilities opened up.
Man, don't you love when that happens? There's like more fucking branches coming off the tree.
Like that's what's making me like this so much more. Is there's all kinds of stuff I didn't expect to have happened, and it's really improved the overall gaming experience, and it's making me want to go back more and more.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, Jeremy. I want an in-depth play-by-play by the time it's all over with. Okay.
You want to just read the text every battle, you know?
Basically, yeah. I want you to be taking notes on a composition notebook. I want at least 4 of them filled by the time you're done.
I can just record the last 56 hours I played.
Well, yeah. Carmen, I want you to help them too. You can just draw with them too. You're good at that.
Oh yeah, I totally want to do that for a game that I'm not even playing. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that sounds fun. All right, I'm out, guys.
Dedication and teamwork.
I'm gonna go write my notes. I'm gone, guys.
Just gonna sit there and take notes.
Did that take up pretty much all your time, Jerry Bear?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I also downloaded Android 17 and Cooler for Fighter Z.
Okay, all right, talk about them.
Yeah, I didn't play much, but I tested them out, and like I told you guys earlier over text messaging. I like Cooler, but not as much as I thought I was going to like him. He's got some grabs, but he's nowhere near as hands-on as 16 is. So I don't see him like disrupting 16's game. And 17, I want to like, but he's just too complicated for me to use. There's nothing in his repertoire that really stood out. I'd probably have to watch some videos of people actually using him and just like fucking manhandling people to really get a feel of how you're supposed to use him. So I'd say he's probably at the bottom of my list for the DLC characters. Cooler somewhere around the middle. It also came with a new stage, which is the, I think, Space Arena, which is just looks like an original area they made up just for the game, but it's pretty cool. It's kind of similar to the World Martial Arts Tournament, but a bunch of like computer screens in the background. Looks like there's like a dome is out in space somewhere. Pretty neat.
Very nice, very nice. So are you going to put any of them in your main squad? Are you going to work them in?
Nah, my main squad's pretty much set for right now.
All right, what's your main squad? What's the most updated main squad?
Base Goku, Hit, and alternating between Bardock and Trunks.
You're pretty mean with Trunks.
I know. I like that. I like he's good for anti-aerial stuff. But Bardock's also pretty good at, like, you know, getting up in the air, getting across that screen, knocking people in and out of, doing knockbacks and shit.
And you're using your arcade stick for this?
No, I'm actually better with the controller for this. I use the arcade stick for, like, 3D fighters. Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll get some jamming in one day. Next time we do some select start. I played, I died pretty much, so I didn't play a lot of video games. But I played my Switch twice since Sunday.
You got to get all your rest in with your new schedule.
I got a shitty new schedule. It sucks so bad.
I ain't seen your ass on PlayStation in like 2 weeks.
Well, bro, I've been going to bed at 8 o'clock every night. I've been hungover for 3 days straight.
Dude, welcome to my life.
Can you cut me some slack here?
In bed by 8? Turn into me, son.
Yeah, well, half of the reason because of that is I'm hungover. So, but I did play my Switch a couple times. I played some Dead Cells, and I actually got a nice little chunk in. I got through 3 different areas, so that's the furthest I've gotten in about 38 minutes. So I'm getting a little bit better. I had like this really cool run. Every time you go to the hub world in between new areas, there's a door that will lock in X amount of seconds, like 30 seconds. If you can get to it, if you go the right way and get to it before it locks, you get a shit ton of good stuff. So I did that twice in this run and got some like god tier weapons and some really cool like turrets. So worked out really well.
And the weapons persist into your next run?
Yeah, the weapon,
like
as long
the gear?
You can keep the same weapon from the time you start till the time you die if you want to. No weapon degradation, nothing.
Well, this game has weapon degradation?
Yes. No, I said doesn't. No, nothing. You could literally start with a sword and a bow, and if you wanted to do a run, you could keep that same exact sword and bow until the very end.
But that's like for all weapons, right?
Yeah, for everything. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like now that you have this god tier piece of equipment, that's going to help you a lot more.
Oh, no. Okay, no. So after you die, it's gone.
Okay, so then they don't persist.
But they persist throughout your entire run. But once you die, you're back at the beginning. Nothing.
Okay. That straightens out the question.
Yes.
I thought about buying it today for the PS4.
It's fun, bro. It's a good looking game. It's fun.
But if I beat it before you should be very disappointed.
I mean, yeah, I would be. Why don't you buy it and see how far you get, and then we'll compare notes. We'll see what we'll start a game plan up.
All right.
I feel like
I'll buy it when we get off here.
I feel like that I could do like a rock, like just like skip over a lot of the mobs and like get from area to area, but then you get to the boss fights, you got to fight the bosses. There's no way around that. So
that's all right.
But
so you're letting the mobs fuck you up before you get to the boss, and then you just don't have any more gas in the tank.
Yeah, because like you unlock stuff in the hub world with sales, and to get the more people you kill, the more sales you get, and obviously, so I mean,
you're playing this game like Jeremy, you got to kill everything.
The more the more dudes you kill, the more sales you get.
Don't be hating my strategy.
But it's a fun game. It just looks good, and I've only played it on the big screen once, but it was epic. So, and I played probably 30 minutes of Guacamelee. That's it.
How far are you in that?
I would say a third of the way through.
Still having fun?
Oh yeah, the game's amazing.
Yeah, the game's super
fantastic, fantastic. I can't. The game, like, if you just want a good game to make you feel good, I think I said it last week. Like, this game is going to make you feel good, and it's going to be fun while it happens. No bad things to say yet.
You probably won't have anything bad to say about that game. Let's be honest.
I mean, I'm sure if you wanted to be Ebert and Roper against a game, you could pick that bitch apart. But if you're just a gamer,
you could do that with God of War
or anything, yeah. But I mean, if you're just a gamer
who
enjoys
it, asshole.
Go ahead. I mean, that is a game that if you don't enjoy, that's your fault, not the game's fault. And that was it. I'm going to play some video games tonight. A lot of them. Probably not a lot. I'll probably just play one or two.
Yeah, you'll probably just play one, and then at midnight you'll go to bed.
I'll be up to like one or two.
Hey.
So let's keep it rocking and rolling. We've got some news to talk about. A few drips in the barrel. Let's start it out with the news. Sony has finally allowed crossplay in the form of Fortnite crossplay that went into beta yesterday. And this is something that I did not see happening this soon.
Well,
crossplay on all platforms, including Sony.
About time, Sony.
Right, I agree.
Seriously?
I'm sure there was some financial kickback somewhere.
I mean, like...
Oh, absolutely.
They didn't do this willingly.
No. Maybe they finally realized that this was not a good hill to fucking die on.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends on how vast this gets, how much this opens up cross-platform play. Are you going to see cross-platform play with the new Call of Duty?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's like, it's okay for Minecraft. It's okay for Fortnite. It's kind of okay for Fortnite. It's not okay for playing with PC players. I don't care what anybody says. They're going to dominate the scene if you have crossplay turned on. But it works for these types of games. It works for racing games. I don't think it works in the shooter department, because at one point the Xbox ruled shooters. If you weren't playing on an Xbox, you weren't playing with the best people.
You don't think shooter be more accurate with a shooter on a PC?
Well, no,
mouse and keyboard.
I was more talking about, yeah, of course, with that.
Well, just
but
consoles.
At one point, the console war was if you weren't playing Call of Duty on the Xbox, you weren't playing with the best people.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Xbox controller is more designed for shooters.
Exactly.
But it sucks for fighting games. So if you want to do fighting games, you had to get a PlayStation. It just depends on your pick your poison.
Yep. If you're playing with a controller, if you're playing with a gamepad, at that point you're okay. So I wonder how far this goes. Will you see cross-play with Destiny?
Ideally,
ideally every game would be.
Well, no,
let's not say ideally.
For me, ideally every game would be cross-play except exclusives.
Well, obviously.
Okay. That was dumb.
No, it's not.
Everything but our exclusive games are crossplay. No shit. They can't be crossplay because they're not on more than one system.
You can make an exclusive game crossplay. If they're like, oh, well, you can play this game on PC, then why can't a PC player play with you on crossplay?
Yeah, I want to play Mario Kart 8 on my PlayStation 4. You got a problem with that, Carmen?
Yeah, it's no longer exclusive.
Oh.
Well, that's just nomenclature at that point.
I'm shaking my head. I wish you could hear it.
I can hear the bullshit coming out your ears. That's about it.
Well, let's talk about the bullshit coming out of your mouth. Everything but exclusives.
So, where do I think it's going to go? I think that it'll probably be
we'll draw the line at exclusives.
A snail's pace. That's what I think's going to happen.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I don't see it going on beyond these very basic games.
Yeah, Sony's going to fight back as much as possible on this. They might cave, like I said, might cave in, and maybe you can play Call of Duty or something every now and then, but they're not going to do it for every single game, and they're going to push and fight and kick and scream. They're going to be very Nintendo about this.
How do you push the envelope and say this game is the best played on our system because of our player base if everything is cross-platform?
Well, that's why they don't want to do it. Sony still says that PlayStation is the best place to play. That's why
exactly, and they
that's
should.
why they're so reluctant.
But then at what point, if you open the floodgates to this, you can no longer say that, because then the player base is so wide, you won't know what you're getting yourself into when you matchmake, unless you can specifically turn it off and on in every game. And then every developer has to account for that. And I don't know how complex it is. To me, it's like, are you guys going to ship us out pre-made code that says like crossplay on, off? Or do I have to figure out how to do that myself every time we develop a new game?
Well, I'm sure it's like when I read the article on GameSpot when Sean Layton was talking about it, like he said, it's not just like flipping a switch on and off, but
there's a lot of communication that has to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously with Fortnite, with Nintendo, Microsoft, I think it was Mobile in on it too. Like they were all talking to each other. They were all making it happen. Was it really that hard for Sony to jump in, or no? It wasn't. Sony decided not to jump in because there's too many variables, and they don't want to. They don't want to put themselves out there like that. They want to be in control.
Yeah, and then how far does it go? Are you just playing with them, or can I now party up with people on my PlayStation and have a conversation with them?
Well, I would assume and doubt that would be a much longer way off than crossplay gaming. But
so
I mean, what does gaming look like in 10 years?
I don't know. We'll draw the line at exclusives.
We'll draw the line at exclusives. Exclusives are going to go away at some point, I feel like.
No, never. If exclusives go away, then that means that there's only one system on the market.
Do you think that'll never happen?
Do you think God of War will ever be playable on an Xbox?
I don't know. I can't say no.
You just said that exclusives were going away, so
as long as
I just said I can't say no.
As long as there's more than one console, there will be exclusives. Plain and simple.
They have to. That's how they get ahead. That's how they get ahead of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I get the model, but what if in 10 years the entire dynamic is just switched up, and it's not about what console do you play on. It's about everything's just a cloud library. You're just downloading it to a stick on your TV.
Then
I probably won't be playing video games in 10 years.
Then the game changes.
I'm going to say, then there wouldn't be consoles anymore. There would just be companies that just make games.
I didn't say anything about consoles. I just said there'd be no exclusives. I just said was that exclusives will go by the wayside.
But then at that point, there's no reason to have different consoles at that point.
That's fine. That's fine.
You're not going to buy Sony's version of the stick, because at that point you have the PS stick.
I never said anything about
And then you're not going to buy Microsoft's.
Consoles.
Then you're going to have the Xbox stick.
I never said a word about console. All I said is that the exclusive are going to go by the wayside. However that happens, I don't know how it will happen. But what I would see is that gaming goes to pure cloud gaming, or download to a
that is a possibility.
That's when I quit playing.
So if consoles go by the wayside, then I could absolutely see no exclusives. Everybody gets to play a game on the platform and play together. It's one giant playground at that point.
At that point, everybody should be playing on a PC.
Yeah, that's all it is at that point. Just there's no more consoles. It's just PC gaming.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm a little bit. I am arguing being the devil's advocate a little bit, but at some point, like, we know we're moving towards this cloud-based gaming. Regardless, right now it's on the console. But, I mean, is a console going to be around forever? I don't know.
I think as long as there's a market for it, it will be around.
So, I can agree with you. I mean, if there's a market for something, it'll be there for sure.
Yeah, and even if they do move to cloud-based gaming, I think that they're learning at this point that they need to allow you to download it. And that you don't need to access it from the cloud, because that's not a good look, because the internet isn't good everywhere. Like, I'm fortunate to have the internet I have. And in Charlotte, you guys are fortunate to have even better internet than I have available to me. But, like, a young kid, whose parents scrape up all their money to buy them this console for Christmas, may not be able to afford anything beyond just basic DSL. So then if that kid has to stream every game that comes through that, boom, that's out. Those parents are going to get rid of that console, and then they're not going to buy another one for that child.
I agree.
Or they're just going to let the kid struggle. And then after that, they're like, we're not listening to this motherfucker cry anymore. Not having it. Like, boom, you fucking cry over there with your fucking 56K modem. Like, We're done with this conversation, So they can't do it that way. That can't be a thing.
I mean, I guess it's all based on infrastructure. If for some reason, and we're just using this number as an example, of 10 years from now, the internet infrastructure has boomed and everyone has accessible, strong internet.
The whole model has to change in 10 years, and that's not happening.
The whole gaming model has changed since.
I'm talking about the internet model. I'm talking about the internet model.
Look at the same thing. Look at the internet since the 90s. The entire model changed.
And
everything
you're
saying is possible.
And you say, no, it's not.
Sure it is.
It's not possible for them to run fiber to everybody. No way.
Sure it is. Why wouldn't it be?
No fucking way.
It's the same way as...
No.
Carm, 20 years ago, they didn't have Wi-Fi. People were saying, how are we going to have wireless internet?
How come it takes all this time to get cables ran in an area? It takes... If that was possible, then you wouldn't have to worry about where's Google Fiber coming next.
You're right. It's
they
not
would have already ran the
now,
cable.
But you can't say it's not going to happen in the future. The same way that we had 56K dial-up 20 years ago, but now we've got wireless internet capabilities over a majority of the United States and even other countries. Sure, there's places that don't, but like it's the leaps that are happening, they're not just going to stop.
I'd bet you my paycheck in 10 years, the paycheck I get in 10 years from today, that there would not be good internet in every location. I would bet you my paycheck 10 years in the future.
10 years is just a number we're using as an example. I don't know when it will happen,
15.
but it will happen. It will happen. Now, when that happens, I think gaming will look different. So we'll get back. We'll reconvene in 15 years, and we'll see what you're making, and then I'll take that paycheck.
Is this going to be the steak bet again? Do we have a bet, do we have a bet for a steak 10 years from now?
Diablo.
That's what it was.
But we'll see. And like I said, a lot of it's just playing devil's advocate. But there's no telling where the infrastructure of the internet or gaming will be in the future. But as of right now, they're just trying out crossplay.
Yeah, I was wondering how we got all the way here from crossplay.
Just soapbox tangents.
I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the topic way off in the distance.
Let's rein it back in. Let's keep rocking. PSX is not happening this year. It's a fantastic event for Sony. They started 2-3 years ago now.
I think
it was 2 or 3 years. I can't remember exactly when. But now, for some reason, it's not happening.
And they decided that they're going to skip it this year.
They did some pretty big announcements, like the last one or the first year they did it. I think they announced a couple big things there. It's just another press conference, another show that they bring in. I think they're cool, but a lot of people think that they're not needed, like these little press conferences and things like that. I mean, eventually everybody has their own press conference, and there's no more E3 and shit like that. But at the same time, Microsoft brought back their version of their press conference. Microsoft XO is coming back in 2018.
So I'm looking right now, and one of the Sony execs is saying the reason they're not doing it this year is that they really don't have a lot to show. So they didn't think it was worth wasting everyone's time, putting on this big show when all he's really got is just Dreams and Days Gone. So you're going to they said, we're not going to really hold a whole experience for a whole event for just 2 games. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. If you don't got it, don't bother. Just save it for E3 next year.
I guess it's better to do that than hold it and then all your press is like, oh, PSX sucks.
Exactly. Because it's not cheap to throw this thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it costs millions of dollars.
I mean, if they had more on Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2 and all that shit, yeah, they're gonna throw this big old party and show the stuff off. But if all you've got is just, we made a little bit of progress in these 2 games, they can literally just show that shit online and be fine.
Bloodborne 2 coming to a PlayStation near you this year, 2019.
Make it happen.
2018. Fuck, not 2019.
I'll take it in 2017. Just make it now. That'd be awesome.
That's got to be their next big bombshell. Just whenever that's coming out.
God, I'd love that to happen so much.
So what'd you say, Jay?
I was saying you were saying about Xbox hugs and kisses.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, they're bringing back this. I guess it's kind of their version of the PSX, but they used to have it. Apparently, they used to hold it, and it's just their press conference. They used to give announcements and gaming news for their specific, their exclusive titles and their brand. It's been gone for a while. I haven't researched that. I'd never heard of it until heard they're bringing it back, quote unquote.
Well, it's probably because they had no exclusive games.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they had news to talk about. I mean, I don't know if it's worth bringing an exclusive press conference for, but
and there's your answer. Now they got some shit to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're pairing.
Do they have that much that it requires this big event?
That's
I think
good
this year it seems like they're pairing it up with something else they're doing this year. I don't think that they're. I feel like they're dipping their toes in the water because they're having some big event and they're going to pair this with it.
Yeah, it's with Xbox Fan Fest.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just trying to test the waters out to see if maybe it's worth bringing back.
So they're starting off with the hugs and kisses before moving on to the 69.
Probably, yeah. You got.
I feel like they're just going to drop one bomb. Like they're just going to have one game on deck, and they're going to be like, "Look, this is what's coming," and that's all they're going to have is one game.
Maybe
Cuphead 2.
Maybe show some Battletoads.
Yeah,
I see that.
Well, we know about Battletoads.
Yeah, but we know it's coming. They could actually show gameplay.
They could. That'd be cool. I mean, I feel like for something like this, you need some type of reveal, something.
Yeah, this event XO is just going to be one fucking 10-minute sizzle reel of they're just going to throw in clips of games even if they're not in development. They're going to be like, "Oh, we already completed Halo 2. Here, see Halo 2 footage." This is going to be stupid. They don't have that much in their hand right now.
You know, fucking Microsoft loves their sizzle reels, Car.
Yeah, they watch them. They're going to hit you with a sizzle reel and 2 games.
Sizzle reel 2 games. I'm out.
I just don't think they have that much to offer right now.
You know, in my mind, the way in the video game industry, and some of the major players, especially like Colin Moriarty, they think that some of these press conferences are just going by the wayside at this point. We don't need them. But I love the big ones. I love the E3s, and I love the Gamescoms, and I love the PAX. But when you get past there, it's just it's just little stuff here and there that drops minuscule news or something you already knew. Do we really need them? Are they making money from them?
Pretty lackluster. Even E3 is kind of lackluster. Despite all the hype, E3 is still kind of eh.
I mean, I'm sure it's all presentation now. That's all E3 is. All I care about is the actual games. I mean, this last one was disappointing because there was a whole lot I cared about. I'm sure...
if you were on the floor, though, you probably would have a much better time.
Yeah, presentation-wise, I'm sure it was fantastic, but, at the end of the day, I want something that's filling, not just, pretty to look at.
Well, I'll fill you, and I'm pretty to look at.
Hey.
No, I get what you're saying, and I can even kind of agree with you. Carmen, I love E3, and I get this little fanboy, little kid feel when I watch it, but, at some point, half the time the leaks come out before E3.
Oh my God, yeah, it was really bad this year.
You're just watching it to watch it at that point.
Yes, it ruined E3 for Square this year. All their good shit was leaked early. Why'd they even bother to show up?
I agree.
Here's that trailer you saw earlier this week. Glad you flew all the way out here and paid all that money.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because you never know if somebody found it, somebody mined it.
No, they
found you this trailer or
No, I think they released it.
Yeah, well, they did release theirs, but you never know. Is it them doing it, and then why do you self-sabotage, or did somebody dig this information up just because? It's.
I mean, honestly, I just think they don't think. They're just hey, let's.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
I can agree with that as well.
So we just need we need the conferences to bring heat, and at the end of E3, we should be able to say we should be able to pick a winner because we have our favorites.
Yeah.
If a game that you played on the Xbox at one point came back and that was what you really longed for, then you would be able to say, all right, well, Microsoft won, but Microsoft's conference was a 10. Then you should be able to say everybody's conference should be spot on. It should be lights out. At that point, you bring back some of that hype. We shouldn't have to give EA an F. EA should be bringing heat.
Everybody should be A's, baby.
Exactly. This is your one time to shine all year. This is to set you off in the right direction for everything. And you can go off the rails, but you should smash at E3.
I agree. I think E3 is nothing but fireworks, rainbows, unicorns.
Exactly, and then when you only get one firework in half of a rainbow all conference.
A unicorn without a horn. It's just a horse.
I mean, you used to take off work for this thing.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And you may next year when you have more vacation days.
You might still be right.
But is it worth it if they're not dropping major heat?
No. I mean, it's like I said, especially for me. Like I give E3 a lot of just leeway because of how it makes me feel personally. But obviously, as a gamer, you want just the biggest drops there. You want bombs.
And I know not everybody can deliver every year something big, but it's like the E3 coming up for 2019. It has to be big because we should be seeing next gen. Or do they hold off on that and they don't reveal it at E3 and then you have one of these XOs or PlayStation Experience and that's when they say, you know what, like we're going to give an exclusive look into what's happening next. And then these things become more relevant, but then E3 becomes less relevant. You can't win when there's so many.
I think it's going to go to the wayside of like these E3 PAX conferences. Eventually, everybody's going to just hold their own. There might be one unified conference. Maybe E3 sticks around. But I could see everybody just kind of branching off, doing their own PlayStation experience. Microsoft XO or Nindy becomes, they have their own giant press conference. And all of a sudden, you don't need these, get-together PAX Gamescoms.
Yeah, at that point, you don't have to flex as hard if it's just you.
You're right, because you just got to compete against you.
Exactly. So it's like you can like slowly progress into like better games, but then like if you go to E3 and your whole presentation flops, then it's like somebody else just walks in, steps on your corpse, and just is like, you know what? I'm gonna take a piss here real quick, and here's all our new games. Bang, 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 bang.
Pop, pop.
So I don't think there's a win in this situation on where you focus.
The only win is for us, the gamer. I love that. It's only true when shit gets done. When you ain't got no games, then we lose. Microsoft. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about Nintendo. How about that?
Nintendo or Nintendo?
Well, let's go ahead and open up the Nintendo corner. Let's kick it off. Me and Jeremy briefly went over it last week, but we were saying that certain games were not going to support cloud saves on Nintendo's new online service. However, we have learned more about said online service, and if you let your Nintendo online service lapse for 6 months, your entire cloud save is going to be deleted.
That's just
That's
gay.
terrible.
That's fucking gay, man.
Fucking terrible. I got pissed. Y'all keep talking.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say if with Sony and Microsoft, you can let yours lapse for as long as you want, and they still keep your saves. And there's no excuse that Nintendo can't do this. If Sony, who has the least amount of money of the big three companies, can keep your saves indefinitely, there's no reason Nintendo can't.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. You want to know what Nintendo's doing? They have a small little Asian army with flash drives, and every time you need to cloud save, it starts blinking a light into one of the available USB ports. And then they plug it in, and it cloud saves. If there's a little delay, it's not your Switch. It's that, too many lights were flashing at one time, and their hands just weren't moving fast enough.
I just imagine they had just a bunch of ninjas over there, and every time you wanted to put a cloud save on, they just pull out a piece of parchment paper and just write it down.
Yeah, here's what happens when they cloud save. They give you like an old password like in Mega Man.
And then they just like disappear in a cloud of smoke. Poof. Cloud save.
Boom. Gone.
Yes.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, what kind of fucking hardware do you have, Nintendo, that you can't keep people's cloud saves?
They have like one server over there, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, you guys made the file architecture. Just compress the fucking balls out of it.
Like I said, Nintendo has been doing this longer than Sony or Microsoft. You would think they would know better than anyone how to do this shit.
I mean, they had cloud saves before cloud saves existed. Like, you didn't have to have a memory card with your Super Nintendo. You just saved directly to that fucking cartridge.
Well, it's not really a cloud save. I mean, if the cartridge went, your game save went.
Yeah, but that's, they've been ahead of the curve.
Yes, they have.
I feel like the Super Nintendo was ahead of the PS1 in regards to saving.
I mean, seriously, like, they've been behind the curve, I think, ever since the 64. Because, like,
I think the 64 started the decline.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, like, because when everyone was making the switch to CDs, they stuck with cartridges. And then even still, with the GameCube, they had to have their own proprietary with the little 3-inch discs. And then when the Wii comes out, they didn't want to do online, they didn't want to do HD, they wanted to do, offline only SD graphics. And then the Wii U, they're already behind PlayStation and Xbox. The Switch is doing well, but I think it's only because of the portability factor. If it didn't have that, it would have just been okay. Like they refuse to get the times, and their Switch and their online service is definitely showing of this. And what else too is I guess we can talk about it more when Cam gets back from. Okay. I thought we'd also mention too, like, they announced that they were gonna sell little NES Joy-Cons, which look pretty freaking awesome, for $60. However, they've now come out and said that these only work with the free Nintendo games you get, and nothing else. So you're not gonna be playing Breath of the Wild and shit. And if your service lapse, they're completely useless, because you can't play the NES games with them without signing on. So basically, you're paying $60. It'd be like if Sony sold you a classic looking, gray and black PlayStation 1 controller for your PS4, but it's only good for your free games that you get every month, and you can't use it unless you sign in every day. But yeah, and you had to buy the controller. Be fucking stupid.
So on the online front, I would rather give Nintendo more money than $20 a year and have a better service. I'd rather pay them for better services.
And I've seen people defending this by saying, "Well, it's only $20 a year." I'm like, I don't care. It's still shit. Like I said, I'll gladly pay 3 times that much for something that actually works and is good than for fucking just a system that's held together with fucking Band-Aids and bubblegum.
Yeah, and on the controller front, that's just asinine. I can't fathom why.
Yeah.
There's no reasoning behind it. There's no reason for them to limit their peripherals, especially.
No, that's just fucking retarded. You tell me you can't have those at least work for the... I mean, I guess because they have D-pads on them instead of analog sticks, but you should at least be able to use them with other games on the system.
I can't really think of any game on the Nintendo that you can't use a D-pad for.
I mean, it'd be harder to play certain games. I can see it being a pain in the ass to play like a shooter, like Doom, with a D-pad instead of analog stick for aiming. But it worked fantastic for like Mario Kart.
Well, yeah. Don't forget about people who lived in a gaming world pre-analog stick,
like me.
So, I mean, yes, it does make life easier and better, but I can, and in certain games that have a lot more features, like, you need more button mapping, I can understand that.
Yeah.
But any chance that you could use that as one of your own first-party peripherals, you should use it.
Exactly. I mean, there's all kinds of indie games out there where you only have to press one button,
I wonder sometimes if Nintendo America has it right and Nintendo Japan has it wrong. And obviously Nintendo Japan has the pull, but...
Well, that's how Sega was. Sega America was making all the right moves back in the day, and Sega Japan was screwing them over, which led to their inevitable decline. And it sounds like it's actually kind of this way, too, because Reggie Fils-Aimé seems to be, a guy with some common sense who knows what American audiences wants, but, Japanese headquarters calls all the shots, and they just say no.
No.
We would not.
I love the Switch, and I think it's the best, the biggest step in the right direction since the Wii. But if they keep making missteps like this, I mean, and I say it, I'll keep playing, but it leaves a bad taste in the consumer's mouth.
I mean,
it's just plain and simple.
With Xbox and Sony, they've both gotten too big for their own britches at one point, but it's a slow decline where they eventually just become, just like, we are God, we can do nothing wrong. But it takes like years for that to happen. It happened with Sony over like 2 console generations until the PS3 came along, and they were just, they thought they could do no wrong. And then Xbox, it was the same way. It took them the Xbox and the Xbox 360 till they got the Xbox One and fucked that shit up royal. But it seems like anytime, like the second Nintendo gets back on top, they're like, okay, how can we fuck people over?
Kind of we can switch a little bit from the bullshit from Nintendo. A person did pay $7,100 for a copy, the very first copy of Mario Party.
The new Mario Party.
The new one.
Paying $7,000 for an early edition of a multiplayer game that he's the only person that owns it.
Now, I don't know about you guys.
Slow clap.
But when party is in the name, that kind of throws me a red flag saying that you need somebody to play it with. It's just better that way.
Hey, he loves to play with himself. Plays with himself all the time.
Hey.
Party 1. I mean, are you just going to play against the AI all day, put Waluigi on hard mode, and just get good? Fuck no. Hey, ask the guy who bought his early copy of No Man's Sky how he's feeling.
What kind of money and expendable income does this dude have?
Either he is a rabid Nintendo fan with no better common sense, or he's just got way too much fucking money. One way I envy him, one way I don't.
Yeah, regardless, like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, he just, God, like, even as a lull, that's like, you just blew $7,000, buddy. Like, the joke's on you.
It actually makes me interested to maybe see if we can Google and find people who have done things like this in the past and like what they've paid, and kind of seeing how compares to this. Like the guy who bought what was that game? It was like you got a race car with it, and you got like the copy of Forza. It was like gold. Gran Turismo. Yeah, you got the car with it. Shit like that. Like I just wonder like how shit like this has happened throughout the gaming history.
I thought you were talking about the Saints Row President's Edition, where you came
that one too. But I think
for Lamborghini and all that.
No,
shit.
I think there's 2 different ones. So that did happen for Saints Row, but then one of the racing games had like you got a Mazda Miata with it, or something like that.
Oh.
And people pay, $50,000-$60,000, whatever it is.
Dude, I got my first Miata for $7,000. You got rips.
It was a brand new Jeremy. It was a Gran Turismo Miata. That's where the other $33,000 came from.
Oh, mine was new. Mine was used. So
I think you overpaid, Jeremy.
I think that I couldn't even fit in a Miata.
Hey, I got more. I ended up trading it in for more than it was worth. So.
That's what I call a good deal. So yeah, we got a lot of Nintendo. They've been doing okay for a while now. They really kind of screwed this whole online service, and I'm really hoping. And I don't, I know Nintendo tends not to necessarily listen to their consumer, but I hope this is one of those cases where they patch it in. You know what? We'll keep your cloud saves. Like at the very basic, just keep the cloud saves. I don't care if you don't support every single game, but just keep what was saved.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that.
I logged into DC Universe Online. Last time I played it, before logging in this past round we did, was on the PlayStation 3. And it's been, 4 years since I played it? I logged in and could have picked my character up exactly where I left it off. On a free-to-play game. On Sony servers. And you're telling me Nintendo can't just keep my shit past 6 months?
I wouldn't say it's on Sony servers. It's on Daybreak's.
Yeah, Daybreak's, whoever servers.
Still, like, it's not that expensive. Like I told Jeremy as soon as you walked away. I don't know if you heard this, but I said they probably just have like an army of Asian kids in a room with like a bunch of USB drives. Like they gotta plug
them in and pull them out.
Yeah, so like as soon as they run out of in 6 months, if they haven't plugged your drive in, they just fucking format it and start over.
I can't hold this USB in for 6 months. God almighty.
Yeah, we need that slot back. Like, can we please?
It's like the old PlayStation memory cards. You get your blocks are fill up. You gotta take some out to put some in.
Bro, some of that stuff was so cool though, like with those blocks, because like you could edit them, like you could like draw with them and shit. Did you guys ever do that?
No, I never knew you could do that. No.
Yeah, you could like change what the blocks look like.
Well, I remember that you could like certain blocks saved up. Like this game takes 4 blocks, and you could put it diagonal or horizontal.
Oh,
Those were the days. Yeah.
I didn't do no horizontal saves.
I'm pretty sure you could do. I think you could do horizontals, man. If my gaming memory serves me right.
You needed 6 memory cards just to play Final Fantasy because you had to have that many saves.
That's the truth.
Those were the days. You remember Rumble Packs?
Yeah. I had one.
That was the slow decline of Nintendo.
So you think it happened for the 64 or after the 64?
Happened
during.
It was happening before, but during was when they really put the nail in the coffin.
Because it's a GameCube. Is it considered a flop or is it considered a success overall?
Well, it's not a flop, but it was the worst selling of the 3 systems at the time.
Okay.
Like
and the 64, it was competing against what, the PS1 and the Xbox?
No, just the PS1. And
just PS1 and Xbox hadn't came out yet? Okay.
No.
No surprise there.
PS1 killed
Xbox
it too.
Didn't come out till the PS2.
Okay.
They competed.
Gotcha. Which was terrible on Xbox. Jesus. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling, boys. Talking about Nintendo, Pokemon Red and Blue has turned 20 this year. Or just this month. I played the original Red and Blue.
As did I.
On a Game Boy Color, I think it was.
I played the original Blue on an old brick Game Boy. Black and white.
Maybe I did too. I can't remember which one I had, but I know I played Red and Blue on whatever Game Boy. Was it a Pocket Game Boy I might have had at the time?
I had one of those too.
You're giving it credit with the black and white, Jeremy. I'm pretty sure the original was black and green.
Well, you know what I mean.
The original brick.
Yeah.
No, mine was literally just a brick with a piece of paper etched on it that said Pokemon.
Hey. I played Pokemon Yellow. That was the first game I played. I had the see-through purple Game Boy Color.
I had one of those.
What is a Game Boy going for on eBay? $200.
It's not bad.
It's not a good investment though. They don't hold up very well. I already had 2 and I had to throw both of them away because the screens are just completely gone.
There's some on here that say like Nintendo Game Boy Launch Edition, gray handheld, $10.50. You can just pick it. Oh, it's refurbished, or you can get one the brand new one is $200.
Well, you're probably better off getting refurbished because like the screens are terrible. Because believe it or not, that's actually ink in there. That black.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it fades over time. That's why it's only parts of the screen work.
God, I love the Game Boy. Do you have a Game Boy Advance? You flip it up like a flip phone, you get pissed off, you slam it down and walk away?
I've still got my Game Boy Advance. Battery doesn't hold for that well.
Game Boy Advance. But you fucking Gronk spiked yours, Cam.
Bro, I'm telling you. You know how it's going around, like, fuck, I miss flip phones, because you can't just slam the motherfucking end button. That's how I feel about the Game Boy Advance. You just you fat that bitch down when you get pissed off and throw it somewhere.
Damn. Yo, you got no respect. You'd have got your ass whooped in my house.
Bro, you know what? Though, thinking back, like, when I was getting my games bought for me, the only thing I ever broke, beyond repair, was a PlayStation controller. And funny enough, I was playing Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh.
And I used the wrong tactic. And I threw my where I was sitting at. I threw my controller like towards the TV, but it smashed on the ground, and I didn't get a new controller. Needless to say.
Oh,
yo, how fucking hard did you throw this motherfucker?
Bro, I yammed him. I was a big dude. I was a fat kid, so I threw some stomach into it. So I'm pretty sure what was Tactics on? It was on the original PlayStation, wasn't it?
PS1, yep.
Yeah. I distinctly remember playing that motherfucker and just Yeah, I was on. It was something I can't tell you because I can't remember the game that well. But I was like on a chocobo, like it was a group of chocobos. And I was trying to have like strategically move them somewhere, and I don't.
You fucked up. You made the wrong. You did this, and you got mad at yourself, and you slammed that controller that didn't do anything to you.
Oh, bro, I'm telling you, it's terrible.
I used to have a bad habit of slamming my controller playing FIFA, though. I can't lie.
Now fighting games get me. Like I won't steal a controller now because they're $60 but
That's a truth.
Bro, I was throwing PS4 controllers playing FIFA all the time.
He's gonna throw his Switch on the floor next. Just fuck this
God
shit.
almighty.
Oh God, I don't even want to know the damage.
I don't think
I almost want to buy one that doesn't work and just see what like one slam does to it. Like
I'm telling
just to see what it does to the hardware.
We start buying like Switches, controllers, shit that don't work for super cheap, and we deep fry them.
Will it fry?
Will it fry?
We dip it in pancake batter and
I'm
we just
serious
fry that bitch.
and fry it. Electronics, let's rock. Copyrighted Hella Average Gaming. Don't try to steal that shit.
We gotta take the batteries out though.
Where we at, fellas? Let's talk about some free shit. We all love free games here at Hella Average Gaming. So make sure you go get them because if you miss out, you're going to hate yourself. And let's start with the clear winners this month because I know last month we did not start with the winners. We've got Microsoft coming in hot this month. And mostly all because of Overcooked coming to Games with Gold, excuse me. Then we got Hitman, Blood Money. Those are the two bringing the heat, and I think that's a pretty good lineup.
Two good games.
Besides that, we've got Victor Braun, which I don't know. Anybody know what that is? And Stuntman Ignition.
That could be fun.
I don't know. Is it part of like a stunt? It's part of the Stuntman series, right? Wasn't it like a little series of games?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that was fun. Those games were kind of fun. They were fucking complicated, though.
I don't remember them, but I feel like I knew that they were they were around back in the day.
Yeah, they kind of like resembled Driver.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me do a quick Google machine. See what we got here. Stuntman came out on the PlayStation 2. And I guess it went from there.
Just on a side tangent, do you guys think Driver makes the cut for the PS1 Classic?
I don't.
Probably not. I like Driver.
All right, and now one more. Do you think we get Bushido Blade 2?
Also, unfortunately, no.
On the on
the Classic on the mini.
No.
I would like it to be on there, but I don't think it will.
I'm thinking
if Bushido Blade 2 is on it, I'm gonna go camp out. Even though that game did not hold up very well.
No, but it's just a neat concept.
I'm just ready to see the finalized list. I've never played Bushido Blade. I've just seen gameplay of it, like videos of it.
It's fun.
It's super fun.
Yeah, it's definitely, you can tell it's a PS1 launch title, but it's fun.
The Hitman games, not Blood Money per se, but the new ones. I really want to play the new one. And then the second one just went gold.
I really liked Absolution a lot. I haven't played the newest one, which I think is just called Hitman.
It is. And that's the one where it's like, it's basically you can, I've seen gameplay, like I hear a lot of the major podcasts I listen to, like gave it super high praise and did a shit ton of playthroughs. Because you can just go to different worlds, play through, figure out how to kill your target, and you can do it like a shit ton of ways.
Well, that's all the Hitman games.
Well, I mean, I think that I'm pretty sure this one has the most ways ever, and it's just done really well.
I mean, they had some pretty creative ways before.
To be fair, though, I haven't played a new gen Hitman, so I don't know either way. I guess
I used to fucking hate that series.
I didn't. You know, it's one of those that I didn't put a lot of time and put my hands on.
I just remember getting it as a kid for Christmas, and I was far too young to understand the concept of sneaking around and killing people. So, like, I never fucking played the game. And then one day I, like, walked into my brother's room, and he was just yamming on it. He was like, look how far I got. I'm like, bro, who the fuck plays this shit? This game sucks. He's like, no, this game's fucking awesome. Then I sat down and watched him play, and I was like, oh, I see what you did.
I just remember back in the day when I was a kid and like wanting a game where I could shoot somebody with a silencer and like somebody wouldn't get alerted. And I thought that would never happen. Like I thought it was impossible for game mechanics. I was mistaken. PlayStation Plus coming in with one big hitter, Friday the 13th, which I'm going to pick up and play with Jerry Bear.
I'll finally put my copy to use a year later.
We'll play a few games and probably never touch it again. That's probably what's going to happen. But I hear that, and I remember me and you were working together, Jeremy, when the game launched, and we were talking about how much of a dumpster fire it was.
Thanks.
And then they fixed it. Apparently the game's really good now.
It's not perfect, but yeah, it's much, much better than it was, apparently.
So, and the whole basis of this is that somebody can be
Someone's Jason. Yep.
And then 4 people are campers, right? Campers, I guess they are.
Yeah.
They're at. Are you in Crystal Lake or whatever it is, or is there just different?
You're Crystal Lake.
Okay, so there's not like different maps or whatever.
Sorry, there are, but
stop yawning, the old man.
Oh, it's late for me. There are, but I think it's just all camp. So.
Okay, got you. And besides that, you got Laser League, which actually I looked up. It looks pretty fun. Might be worth giving a shot. And then you've got Master Reboot, The Bridge, and 2064 read-only memories. That's your free games. Go pick them up, because I know you're going to shed some tears if you don't. And last but not least, one of the most anticipated games of the year, Red Dead Redemption 2, has some new news. New news. When you download this game, you're going to need 105 gigabytes of free storage.
Well, no, the download's 100.
Or the download.
But you're going to need to have 210 available.
210 gigabytes of storage. That is half.
It's almost half of an original PS4.
Original PS4.
That's like 10 Switches back to back.
And let's hope that they don't do a lot of updates, because the way that the file structure works now with the copying, it literally just like recopies the whole game. You know how long 105 gigs is going to take?
That's huge.
My 3 gigabyte download for Destiny takes seems like it takes almost an hour to copy.
That could be a good thing that the game update is so big. It means that it could be just polished as fuck and ready to go. Or it could just mean that this game is pushing the hardware to the limit. I saw a funny-ass tweet. Go check me out, at Average Eddie, and you'll see the funny tweet about the sound the PlayStation is going to make when it runs Red Dead. But I'm kind of shocked, because this is huge. This is like 2 normal games in one. I think launch titles for the PS4, I think we're right at 50 gigs. Like, I remember getting Killzone and, God, whatever the fuck else launched with it, I can't remember. They were like 55 gigs each. Yeah, Knack, that was it.
Knack was 50 gigs? No fucking way.
No, it was like...
Well, I know for a fact that Killzone was. But I had
Yeah, Killzone was big.
Maybe it was Battlefield was the next one I got. So maybe I got Killzone at launch, and then Battlefield was the next game that was 50 gigs. That's terrible. I'm going to have to buy a hard drive, probably.
Bro, you can't have that much stuff on your new PS4 already.
You're right. I actually have been stingy about downloading stuff. I got like 2 games. I'm a scrub. But that's it for the games. I don't got much news left there. Anybody got anything I missed?
I'm good. How about you guys?
I'm good. There wasn't much. The articles were terrible on all the websites.
Well, then I think that you know what time it is.
SuperFight!
Who's rocking this week, fellas? Is it Carmen and Jeremy?
I think it is.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it's me and Carmen.
And I'm willing to relinquish my spot because I cost us a super fight week. So Cam, if you want a super fight,
No.
You're more than welcome to take it.
You go ahead. We don't want to fuck up rotation. We just skipped it last week, so it's your turn.
Somebody has to dethrone Jeremy.
Well, then it's your turn.
I'll see you
And
guys
I will say that the roles, like Jeremy went from the shittiest roles to the best roles.
It's amazing the turnaround I've had.
Yes, it's been unreal. All right, Jeremy.
Okay.
Holla at me. Do you want characters, powers, locations, scenarios. You give me the order. I'll pluck us some cards.
Let's go crazy. Let's do powers first.
Oh, snappity dappity.
Yeah, changing it up.
All right, so this time I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Take your pick of 2 numbers.
I will take 4 and 7.
All right. And I'm going to take 3 and 4.
I already picked 4.
Well, I'm picking out of the cards that are left.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't. All right, so you can't see.
Damn.
And you have an ability to super jump.
Okay.
I don't know how the fuck that comes in handy.
Okay.
And I have tiny T-Rex arms.
Oh,
and
shit.
can see 3 seconds into the future.
Okay. You got one really good power and a shitty power for you, and then
you both
decent power
have
for
one
me
good
and a shitty
power, one shitty power.
All right, what's next, boy?
Let's do characters.
All right. Go ahead and give me a pick, 1 through 6.
2.
You are a samurai.
Okay. All right. I can work with this. I'm trying to think. Cam, since you're the judge, I need you to officiate this or not. Can I use Zoro? Does he count as a samurai?
So, I'm thinking that in this case, the cards is a samurai. So you're just a samurai.
Oh, so I can't pick a specific one?
Not for this one. I think you're just a samurai.
Okay. I can still work with this.
I think you're just a samurai. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm cool with that.
But I would absolutely put Zoro off the table. That's stupid.
Okay.
Either way.
All right.
You could be Tom Cruise.
Nah, I'd rather just be a plain samurai.
And I've drawn an Apache warrior.
Okay.
Okay, and I think this is pretty straightforward. A samurai versus an Apache.
Okay. I can still work with this, though.
One can't see, one has tiny T-Rex arms.
One can jump really high, and one can see into the future by 3 seconds.
All right. Location or scenario?
Let's do location.
No repeats.
Yeah, no repeats.
Not this early, anyway.
We're in the Hoover Dam.
Like in it or on it?
Like in the water or like on top of the Hoover Dam, like where it falls over?
The location says the Hoover Dam.
I'm going to say we're on the Hoover Dam then.
All right.
Okay, so you're on top of it.
Okay.
And then the scenario is... These are all repeats. How the fuck do I
just Googled the Hoover Dam just to make sure I got an idea of what we're looking at here.
Yes.
Okay. And the fighters are shot out of huge cannons at each other from 1 mile apart.
Okay.
Okay, so that starts us off. That starts you off.
Okay.
Whew.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
That's a weird scenario.
All right.
All right.
Jeez.
So recap. We have a samurai who can't see, but has a super jumping ability. Versus an Apache warrior with tiny T-Rex arms, but can see 3 seconds into the future. We're fighting in the Hoover Dam, and they have just been launched from 1 mile away out of a cannon, and they are hurling towards each other. Who's starting?
I'll let Carmen pick if he wants to go first or second.
I want to go second.
Okay.
All right, Jeremy.
All right. Let me know when you're ready, Cam.
Stopwatch going, and Jeremy coming in hot in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, right off the bat, since we're being shot out of cannons, you better hope I don't hit you first because you're unarmored and I am wearing full plate armor. I'm like a cannonball. If we both miss each other and hit the ground, I'm going to be fairly undamaged because I am armored. You're not. Assuming you're not just a grease on the floor, then I'm armored. I'm armed with samurai equipment, which would be katana, naginata, yumibo, and kanabo, which is a giant club. I don't need my sight, as some of the best samurai in history have been blind. They rely on their other senses, just like Daredevil, enhanced hearing. So I can hear you coming no matter where you're at. I can jump high into the air and come down on you like fucking Cloud Strife doing that braver cut, slice you right in half. I'm on top of the bridge. All I have to do is jump. I don't need my sight because I can just jump up into the air, right in the sun, come down right on you. You'll never see me fucking hit you. None of your attacks are even going to matter. All you got is... Okay.
Jeremy bringing the heat early. Carmen, you're up, and your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so we're gonna have to assume that I stick the landing and I live through the cannon. So I'm gonna use you not being able to see to my advantage, despite your senses. I'm gonna use my tiny T-Rex arms to throw little tiny tomahawks at you just to piss you off and fuck with your senses. So I'm gonna throw little tiny tomahawks like on the ground just to turn you around. And then if you do jump in the sky, I'm going to use my ability to see 3 seconds into the future. I'm going to be able to dodge your moves. That's going to be easy. I'm just going to stay away from you. I'm just going to frustrate you until you decide to kill yourself.
Is that it?
And that's
Is
it.
that it? Okay.
All right.
I have tiny T-Rex arms. I can't fight.
46 seconds. Carmen gives it in. It's time for your 30-second rebuttal. Jeremy, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
You're not gonna have much of a long-range game throwing. You can't throw very far with tiny T-Rex arms. They might maybe fly a foot in front of you before they hit the ground. Like I said, all I gotta get is one good slice, and you're done, son. I've got more options for combat. Like I said, I'll just hear you coming, slice you in half. Time.
That it? All right.
I guess
we
so.
had
I
3
guess
seconds
so.
left.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And Carmen coming in with the final 30-second rebuttal. And he starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm hopping in the water. I'm swimming away. Chief swims away is a thing. If you want to get in and chase me blindy, good luck. You're not going to be able to see what's going on. I'll be able to predict the currents from the dam. I'll just keep looking 3 seconds into the future to see what's going on. I'll survive. You have no way of understanding what the fuck is going on once we get in this situation. Chief squatting turtle wins again.
And that was 30 seconds.
Chief Pinchaloaf.
Exactly.
All right. This is actually one of the closer ones that I think we've had.
These goddamn tiny T-Rex arms.
Now, what I was hoping, before we even started, once I heard what it was, I was hoping that the samurai, the person using the samurai, would say that samurais do not have to rely on their eyesight because their senses are pretty heightened, and plenty of samurais did not rely on their eyesight.
And I said that.
Jeremy killed that part
Yes.
almost immediately.
Yep.
Now, what the biggest part we have to worry about with Carmen is the 3 seconds into the future. So, I'm gonna have to give this to Jeremy, the samurai. And here's why. I think that the seeing 3 seconds into the future is epic.
Yes. Very
But
much is.
the fact is you need to see 3 seconds into the future and be able to dodge and make an attack back against that. So, with your T-Rex arms not being much of an attacker, if Jeremy jumped in the air and came down on top of you and sliced at you, even if you had 3 seconds to get away, I have a feeling you're still within a second striking distance from him with a long katana. And once he gets in close, it's just a matter of time, because if he throws slash after slash after slash, doesn't matter if you're seeing 3 seconds into the future. It's just a whirlwind of slashes. And I really think that's the key. When you got into the water, Carmen, I think that actually put you at more of a disadvantage, because Jeremy could just jump in there and do a downward slash, and you could see it 3 seconds in the future, but you're going to be much less mobile in the water trying to swim and get away than you would on land. So all that being said, I have to give it to Jeremy, very reluctantly, again.
I gotta tell you.
6 win.
I gotta tell you, man. When you got the 3 seconds in the future thing, I thought I might have been up. I've been done. Then you got those T-Rex arms, and I was like, "Oh, thank God, I have a chance."
Especially the water.
Yeah.
You're much less maneuverable in the water.
Well, not only that too, but when I got the blindness, I was like, "Shit!" I was like, "Please give me like Daredevil or something." Then he said Samurai. I was like, "I can work with this. Thank you, God."
That's the first thing I thought of. Like samurais, they don't need sight.
Exactly.
Now the Apache Warrior is a straight up I think that you could have used your war spirit and actually gotten in. Even with T-Rex arms, you got in close and tried to fight him.
Also, he would have had an advantage if we had been like a more like foresty area.
Sure. Yeah.
But we were on the dam. There's nowhere to hide. So
Jeremy just coming in solid every fucking time. I hate it.
Yeah, the T-Rex arms just fucks me all up. Like, with the 3-second advantage, if I had normal arms, I could have fucked him up. Like, I could have got out of the way and just, like,
I agree.
Yeah,
assaulted.
I absolutely agree. If you would not getting fucked over like that.
Well, it fucks you as the arms. Like, once he comes in close, you can see 3 seconds in the future. You just can't do anything about it.
Yeah, but you can. That's the whole reason you see 3 seconds into the future.
Well, you can, but what are you going to do? You're going to slap him with your T-Rex arms?
Exactly. You got to jump up and pop him.
What if you're
boop him in the
You
nose?
can see my hand action. I'm like just moving my fingers.
What if you're stuffed in a sack or a hamster ball and overloaded with groceries?
Oh God,
that was terrible.
Imagine that with T-Rex arms.
Oh Jesus! One of us is gonna get that where we get like the worst possible fucking draw.
Yep.
I hope it's you, Jeremy. You need to lose.
Oh, it will be. It's all
Lost.
It's all gonna come back to me and like badly. Like one of you is gonna get like fucking Superman, but he's also a Terminator and has like death beam eyes, and I'm a fucking crazy cat lady stuck in a ball and a bag, and I'm lit on fire. And
None of us have pulled like the mega card. Jeremy, when you see the mega card, it's insane. It's like
really
the head is this person, the left arm is like you could have like left arm is the Hulk, right arm is Superman.
Oh shit!
Your head is a samurai.
Oh shit! son, I didn't know that existed.
Yeah,
that's the
so,
mega
like,
card.
Have, it's like the
like
mega
5
sword.
different powers in one. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, let's do a battle royale and get the fuck out of here.
I agree.
All right, Jeremy, you won. So do you want to pick first?
I'll take one.
1, 2, or 3.
I'll take number 3.
You are a hockey player. Cam?
Number 1.
You're a redneck.
Oh my god.
What else? No, what's his card?
A redneck.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have misheard.
All right, Carl, what you got?
I got the Men in Black.
Okay.
you know what's funny? Before we even get started, I was thinking about picking my redneck as and this is no bullshit. Before you even said it, I swear that I was thinking about being the redneck on Men in Black who was like sugar, water, who turned into an alien just so I'd be an alien. But now I'm definitely not doing that since you're Men in Black. Oh God. Well,
who's going first?
I'm a redneck, so I've got all my redneck essentials. I've got my shotgun. I've got my 4-wheel drive truck.
Oh, are we not doing a? What was
that? Oh, that's right. We do let's do an environment. Yep.
All right, location.
Location. That's it.
As fitting as it is, the card that I've drawn goes back to last week, and we're in a giant ball pit, and that's no bullshit.
Okay.
I drew the card. I looked at the bottom card, and we're in a giant fucking ball pit.
Okay.
Yes, we had quite a conversation about the ball pits last week. Well, as a redneck, I'm going to use my redneck ingenuity and duck down under the balls. I'm going incognito. I'm armed with a shotgun and a can of Skull. As I come through, I slowly ease my denim overalls off to make me a little bit more aerodynamic. I use the sweat beating on my wife beater to make me go through the ball pit faster. And I sneak up behind you and I blow your fucking brains out with my shotty. Then I put a good dip in. Hockey player. I was coming for you first.
Hockey player. I was coming for you. Now let me get this mint skull. Go for the Men in Black.
Now as for the Men in Black, I'm a redneck, so I don't really like black. So I got a real urge to go against you. However, I know that I can't just hit you head on because you got lasers and shit. So I'm going to take myself back to a time when I can meditate while I'm under the balls. I'm going to go fishing for cats. I'm going to think about how I can beat these alien hunting sons of guns. And I think I decided I'm going to do a sneak attack. I'm going to come right at you like a spider monkey. So I'm going to pop out from the ball pit. You're going to pull your laser guns out, but I'm going to spit you in the back of right in both your fucking eyes. You're not going to know what the fuck happened. You're going to shoot your laser off to the right, killing some kid going down a slide. I'm going to my Mossberg and blow your brains out. KO, I'm the winner.
Damn.
I thought we were supposed to limit these to 30 seconds, but I don't care. That was just worth listening
That
to.
was just too good of a story.
I didn't want to stop him.
He was in a zone, Jeremy.
He was reverting back to his primal state. His natural state of redneckness.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
All right, somebody take over.
I guess I'll go next then. All right. Well, as a white man, you're not going to attack me because you're going to go right after the blackie. When you do see me, rednecks love hockey, so they're going to be enthralled by me. If not, I'll just distract you by throwing a redneck comedy tour DVD while you're distracted, cracking the back of the head with a stick.
Damn.
Yeah. I play dirty. I am armored as I wear padding. I'll throw some balls to distract the men in black. Crack them in the face with a hockey stick. Get 2 minutes for roughing. Take off the gloves. Come after them. Use my skates. Kick them. Slice their neck open. I'm armored to the teeth, baby. I got blades on my feet. I'm the great one, Wayne Gretzky.
Anything else, Jeremy?
That's
Jeremy
it.
said, "I'm the best hockey player in the world."
Well, that
Chipper
was that.
Jones.
Well, that's what Wayne Gretzky was. He's also known as the great one.
All right. So let's start with the hockey player. Your mobility is very limited when you're not on ice, and this ball pit has no ice. So you can run around and clip-clop on your skates all you want, but I'm going to blast you with one of these laser guns at some point. So you clip-clop all you want. Bang, bang. The redneck, you forget when you spit your chewing tobacco. I got my glasses on. So you're going to hit those crispy-ass shades. And I'm just going to toss those motherfuckers off instantaneously. Your Mossberg ain't going to have shit. Because as soon as I throw the glasses off, the laser gun's coming out. I'm grabbing a new set of shades after I pop the trigger, throwing it on, hitting you with a neuralizer, turning you into a little bitch, leaving you in the ball pit to suffer.
Who's the winner?
I think we all know who the winner is.
The redneck.
Seriously. How you gonna compete with a can of Skull?
Yo,
You
that
just got
shit in
beat
your
by a
eyes-
dude with a can of skull and a shotgun.
If that shit goes in your eyes, goodness.
Bro, I'm telling you.
It's like that.
Even
fucking
if I hit
dinosaur
your
from Jurassic
glasses,
Park.
you take your glasses off, that's prime time to just pop a shotgun shell in your dome piece.
And just the amount of I don't know, the way you described this story, it was like you've done this.
I think he
Well,
has.
let's be honest. Like any real redneck, like they grew up in or around the ball pit. You know, your mama took you to some restaurant, fast food chain that had a ball pit. So you're in a ball pit. That's like walking through your own house when you're a redneck. So you know the terrain. It's just a matter of stalking your prey.
Why do I have a?
My man's, he said he got his sweaty white beater to help him navigate through the balls.
Why do I have a feeling that Cam's just describing his bachelor party weekend? Crawling around a ball pit, sweaty white beater.
No, what
shooting
it, Jeremy?
can of
It
Skull.
literally is probably my childhood minus the shotgun and the skull.
I imagine you had a shotgun and a skull at the age of 5.
Maybe not 5, but you
Maybe
know,
6.
Maybe 6.
something like that. But yeah, you
That's
know,
fucking good.
that was fantastic. Somebody get us out of here. I'm ready to go get another
In
beer.
the wise words of Jeremy, suck a dick and stay hella average.
Peace out.
Don't forget the balls.